And daughter arrested for killing their dog, but it was how it happened that has everyone so upset. Fox News at 10 starts right now.
You're watching Fox News at 10, Western Oregon's only 10 o'clock news.
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We start tonight with some breaking news. Emergency crews are on the scene of a plane crash in Estacada, which is about 10 miles southeast of Portland. Several crews have responded to the call and are searching for the plane. We'll let you know when we have more information. In other news, this story may be disturbing to some of our viewers. Police say a man hit his dying dog with a hammer, then buried him, not knowing he was alive. Alyssa Harrington joins us live with the details. Alyssa, what happened?
Well, Natasha, Hiram Long and his daughter Susan Johnson were arrested on animal abuse charges in Forest Grove. Now, police say the dog had suffered abuse for quite some time, but Long says something different.
75-year-old Hiram Long leaves his house in handcuffs. His daughter Susan Johnson not far behind. Police arrested the two for the death of their dog. Long says 14-year-old Molly was sick and he wanted to put her out of her misery. So he hit her with a hammer, thought she was dead, then buried her. But neighbors heard her crying for help. She was taken to the Oregon Humane Society Friday, where she was later euthanized. Hours before the arrest, here's what Long told us.
I made a mistake not staying there. You know, that was hard ground to dig, and I was going to go back and get her. Well, before I left to go up for dinner, I checked on that dog.
Long says his daughter wanted her buried at home, and Friday they say they didn't have the money to euthanize their dog. Forest Grove Captain Aaron Ashbaugh tells us a necropsy on the dog by the Oregon Humane Society revealed something much more troubling.
It appears that some starvation, the dog had not been fed for a period of time, and that probably had not received any substantial nutrition over a long period of time. It was completely infested with fleas.
We're hearing reports that the dog may have been abused long ago and malnourished.
No way.
Still, Long maintains he didn't mean any harm.
I'd like to apologize to all the people because I love dogs. I made a bad choice of doing this, and I have to be responsible for it.
Susan Johnson will be charged with animal neglect along with animal abuse, which is a felony. They both face upcoming court appearances. Natasha?
Thanks, Alyssa. Police say they've had a few complaints from neighbors because Long is 75 years old, but they say they can't just ignore the law because of someone's age. A man is in critical condition tonight after he collided with a logging truck while driving an electric car. It happened on Marcola Road, about 5 miles north of Springfield. Harold Babcock is in critical condition at Riverbend Hospital. He's the owner of Camelot Village, a retirement community in Eugene. On his bio, it says his favorite hobby is driving his electric car. Lane County Sheriff officials say a Weyerhaeuser logging truck tried to pass Babcock on the left. Babcock turned left and the truck struck him. The driver of the truck says Babcock's signal had been on for a very long time.
I'm assuming that what he thinks is that this fella has left his signal on, and so he goes to go around him when this collision occurs.
Okay. Sheriff's deputies say the electric car is legal on the roads. The logging truck was not speeding, and they were in an area where it was legal to pass. John McCain and Barack Obama hold competing rallies in Pennsylvania, one of several events in battleground states as the campaigns fan out on the final days before the election. Fox's Craig Boswell reports from Washington.
In Pennsylvania, it's a pitched battle for every vote. About 9,000 people braved cold and rainy conditions in Chester to hear Obama turn up the heat on his Republican rival.
John McCain's ridden shotgun as George Bush has driven our economy towards a cliff, and now he wants to take the wheel and step on the gas.
Obama's running mate Joe Biden continued the theme, criticizing McCain's maverick image during a rally in Florida.
You can't call yourself a maverick when all you've been the last 8 years is a sidekick.
Meanwhile, in Hershey, Pennsylvania, John McCain and Sarah Palin combined for a 1-2 punch, slamming Obama's tax plan before more than 10,000 supporters. In the final week of the campaign, the economy and taxes dominate stump speeches.
He's more interested in controlling wealth than creating it.
Government taking more of your money and money from our small businesses and then doling it out however the politician sees fit. And Barack Obama calls that spreading the wealth.
While polls show McCain trailing Obama in most battleground states, the numbers are tightening. In Ohio, a crucial state for both candidates, Republican ticket is getting some help from Joe the Plumber. Palin will also campaign in Ohio tomorrow. She'll deliver an energy policy speech. McCain travels to Florida. Obama will also spend a portion of the day in the Sunshine State as well, and for the first time will be joined by Bill Clinton. In Washington, Craig Boswell, Fox News.
Meantime, Senator Barack Obama's wife, Michelle, appeared on The Tonight Show last night. She joked about the network TV time her husband bought on 3 major networks for tomorrow night.
And Malia sort of overhears it. She's 10. She says, "You're going to be on all the TV?" She said, "Are you going to interrupt my TV?" And he said, he's sitting like this. He says, "No, we didn't buy time on Disney and Nick." And she said, "Oh, good." And she got up and walked away. That's about it. She's just like...
Michelle Obama also joked about her outfit when prompted by Leno, saying it was from J. Crew. New studies show more Americans are skipping doctor visits and skimping on their meds due to the economy. 36% of those asked say the down economy has forced them to put off needed health care or doctor visits. Almost 1/3 have skipped a recommended test or treatment. Those numbers are up from April. At the Volunteers in Medicine clinic in Eugene, officials say they're just starting to see more people who have lost their jobs.
Some of them have the opportunity to continue that insurance for a while, but we anticipate if the economy keeps going in this direction, that the numbers of uninsured in Lane County will keep increasing and we will have more patients in our door.
It's a crapshoot right now. You could lose your job tomorrow and be without health insurance.
Clinic directors tell us Lane County has about 62,000 people without health insurance coverage. The struggling economy has also hit one of the last places you'd expect. A cemetery near Corvallis is under foreclosure, leaving family members of those laid to rest with no sense of closure. Jeff Yeager reports.
It just adds insult to injury.
Patrick Burke's father was buried here at Twin Oaks Memorial Gardens. He died back in 2007.
The first 14 months, there was no head mark. There was no marker at all. It was essentially an unmarked grave.
Patrick says his father's plot eventually got a plastic marker like this. His father, Arthur, a World War II vet, paid for a specific marker but never got it.
My father's in the ground there. There's no marker, and I'm trying to get that resolved. My father put a down payment down on this way back in 1991, and he actually paid everything off in 1994.
The cemetery is under foreclosure, and just recently was Arthur's marker placed, but it's not the one he paid for.
His hard-earned money was spent in order to keep us from going what we're going through right now.
We tried to talk to a man who identified himself to police as the property owner.
We'd love to talk with you, find out what's going on. There are a lot of people who are concerned they've paid for services and haven't had their services taken care of. Any comment at all?
You go into the funeral service for closure, you know, and this just prolongs the amount of time it takes for closure.
Again, that was Jeff Yeager reporting nearly $500,000 in services was paid to Twin Oaks with no guarantees those services will be taken care of. A California woman has chained herself to her home to avoid being evicted. June Reno and her husband have lived in the house near San Diego for 19 years. A couple of years ago, Reno lost her job and the couple took out an adjustable rate mortgage. But the payments skyrocketed, going from $4,000 a month to $5,800. Reno says she's willing to accept some of the blame for getting a loan she couldn't afford. Talk about a combo meal. It wasn't French fries that was added to one Colorado couple's drive-through order. It was pot. Fox's John Romero has more.
We have all had somebody get our order wrong at the drive-thru. It's just not usually this messed up. October 16th, Susan sent her husband out late night for 2 tacos and a piece of chocolate cake.
I noticed a little package was on top of it, and I thought, well, maybe they added some new topping to it.
Nope, it was pot, and Susan called police.
I'm glad it was me and not some curious teenager who may have known what that was.
Every once in a while you get those dumbest criminal stories.
The Lakewood police then went back to Del Taco.
And the manager let us bring our dog in and sniff around the restaurant. We found another small amount of marijuana and of